Data log 2026, May 3rd, day 64. Actually, today is very early morning on May 4th because yesterday I was pretty much brain drained by end of the day. And so I didn't get a chance to record my video diary. Because yesterday I had two group of friends who came to my room because of my broken leg. I couldn't go out. And we had a day of two sessions that talked about AI generalized use of AI, or general use of AI, to customizing or personalize it to agents. And what I have been referencing it as something that I created and shared in the last almost few months now, called the AI Stickman, which is what you see behind me, AI Stickman. And the first group in the morning are that same group of friends that I haven't seen for 18 years. Lucy from Dream Corps volunteer group back in 2008. And we went to Henan Laochanying village together. And her and her husband, both from University of Toronto, now works in Shanghai, both in the financial sector, one in banking, one in investment. And they want to just understand the general use of AI and what are the concepts, and they also want to try out their hands of customizing, creating agents and workflows and automated 24/7 claw case scenarios so that they can use to monitor and help them make decisions on their portfolio performance and track their portfolio performance and track the news and help analyze it and provide insights so that they can perform activities on their portfolio. So that's a group in the morning, and it was very fun. It's in the financial sector. It's talking about like 同花顺, which is kind of like a BlackRock, kind of the what you see in the movies where you have all the stock symbols and then things are moving up and down, and how do you find sources of these stocks in your portfolio and trying to analyze them and to decide what moves to make. I think that's a quite typical trader kind of scenario for financials, although in my personal experience, I worked least with the financial sector. And then in the afternoon, with a group, a new volunteer from TechShare. She's the third year college student in Hangzhou's Normal Teachers University, and she studies children's psychology. And her scenario is that we want to try out to analyze children's drawings. So this initiated from the conversation of in the kindergarten when I went to Maggie's kindergarten, and Maggie loves one of her, I would now call it interest, maybe even hobby now, that she loves to draw. So when children draw pictures, how do you, there are methods and frameworks that analyze children's drawings. And I think it's called, let's see.
绘画心理儿童英文翻译，儿童绘画心理学 Children's Drawing Psychology
Children Drawing
常用相
Psychology.
关表达：一、绘画心理测评 Drawing Psychological Assessment for Children 二、儿童绘画心理分析 Children's Drawing Psychological Analysis 三、绘画心理疗法 Drawing Art Therapy for Kids 四、儿童投射绘画心理 Children's Projective Drawing Psychology 需要我给你整理一份儿童绘画心理常用专业英文术语对照表吗？
Okay, children's drawing psychology or drawing psychological assessment for children. So you can psychologically assess children's drawings and to get some insights. So that's a very new field for me, and I think it's something that we could try out with the kids, especially the younger kids. But kids at all ages, even including adults, could draw photos and draw pictures that you want, right? So yesterday she came in because she has been talking to her professors and found a sponsor and a mentor professor who provided her a list of the books and sources of those assessment and frameworks. So we created agents in the afternoon for those and published them on Doubao and put them in groups in Feishu and have the different agents assess the same picture that's in the textbook and came back with, I would say, similar but not limited to the textbook assessments. That was very happy. That was a very highlight of my moment yesterday. That through about half a day, we were able to create the knowledge base, creating the system prompt using the meta agent, and able to create a very high quality agent that assess a picture that's from the textbook and came back with assessment results that reflects the same what's in the textbook plus a lot more. And the knowledge base it uses is a textbook. The system prompt is generated from the large language model. So anyway, so that was yesterday, and perhaps in my video diary today I can do a short version of the AI Stickman. I have never done this in complete English before, and just to share a little bit of a sample of it, I have recordings of my AI Stickman workshops in Chinese across the last 2 months in my trial run. And the youngest group of folks I have validated and shared this AI Stickman is Maggie's class. Maggie's class of a 6-year-old in the kindergarten in the Wellesley School. And I was actually planned to do the oldest in this retirement community, and they are waiting, they are looking forward to do it because many actually elders in this retirement community used to be high officials or high businessmen in the society. And they are very kept up on the AI news. So I was about to do that and I broke my leg, right? So yesterday I was running into the facility folks and they were saying that when can we do this? And I'm like, okay, I can sit on your wheelchair and should we try it out? So perhaps I will actually, after this May holiday, because they have been very busy with the May holiday activities, I'll do one for the facility folks first so they understand what it is and they can use it in their daily work. And then because now they understand what that is, they can help to promote it and to ask for what elders might be interested in it. And interesting enough, they said that for AI workshop in this community, it should be a beginner's level and advanced level. And the beginner's level in elders is actually older, so 70 or above, and they just want to use it for social emotional kind of support, to have companionship, to have kind of like an AI companion. I have some videos of Mr. and Mrs. Lee when they stay here for half a month and use Doubao to, each of them use Doubao for their own personal chat buddy. And that was very fun to observe that effect of this social connection and social chat, because AI is very emotionally intelligent, at least mimicking and providing a lot of EQ, a lot of 情绪价值. What is that? Emotional value? 情绪价值 in English.
情绪价值 emotional value.
Emotional value. And yeah, so my goal when I designed this AI Stickman was following the concept of from user experience career, where we have a saying that if you design something as a UI or graphical interface, and you can try to explain it to a 6-year-old and to a 60-year-old, like explain to your children and explain to your grandma, and both of them able to intuitively understand it, then it's a good design. So I've been following that principle and trying to design something that can go from age 6 to 60, and I'm almost able to validate it. I think I'm close to there because I validated the 70-year-old Mr. and Mrs. Lee within this concept, and they were able to understand most of it. Okay, so let me do a quick version, maybe 5 minutes of it. When we, actually, I don't know if this camera actually able to follow. So I start by saying that artificial intelligence is a form of created by human, right? And as humans, we have intelligence as well. And our intelligence starts with where? Our brain. So I drew a circle and I have the brain. Yep, I have the brain. And within the brain is what the essence of this current day, modern day AI is. Maybe this way is better. And it's a large language model. And what is a large language model, or LLM? There are 3 components to it. One is computational power, or that's what people are talking about, chips and GPUs and TPUs and so forth. And when it comes to the AI, it's actually down to this unit called, hold on. Okay, my leg is getting sore. Called token. The Chinese official translation from the government is actually now called 词元, the word unit, in a way, direct translation. And the important thing to remember that, oops, can I come over? There you go. This camera is following me and not following me, I don't know. Token, and it costs money. Second part of the LLM, a large language model, is big data. And there are 2 layers to the big data. The first layer is human public knowledge, which is AKA the internet. And every base model will be trained based on the entire public human public knowledge of the internet data. And usually it has a 8-digit number serial behind it, because the current technology is that when you train your model, it will be fixed to a date, which is YYMMDD. Right? So year, month, DD. So if today is May 4th, 2026, it will be 260504. And the second layer of the big data is which company made the AI. So ChatGPT is OpenAI, and OpenAI have access to certain, actually OpenAI doesn't have its own company ecosystem data, but maybe Microsoft shares something, I don't know. Gemini, for example, from Google will have its Google Ads data, right? They don't share that with other companies. One good example here, I think, is ByteDance. And ByteDance does TikTok. It has the short videos data. And when it trained Seedance, it's become a model that actually beat Sora in video. So company ecosystem data is part of the model, large language model that it has. So then the third layer is what you can provide as your personal knowledge base, private data. And then the third part is algorithm. Algorithm is the mathematics behind, and that determines how cost effective you can burn certain computational power to study the big data. And one of the things for the contribution from DeepSeek, which is not really doing a lot of the fancy tools and stuff, the founder of DeepSeek focuses on creating the algorithm and the method that helps to reduce the energy, because behind computational power is electricity, right? Energy, to reduce the energy or the computational need to train your models with the big data. So these 3 components, computational power, big data, algorithm, roughly becomes large language model. Then what I put is a mouth. A mouse on the face means that's a prompt. That's how you interact with AI. And the mouse starts with verbal communication. You type your words, and this time I usually tell people to say hi, introduce yourself to AI. Hi, my name is James. I am a social innovator. I used to be a software engineer and user experience consultant in Microsoft. Now I do AI coaching for kids and elders and anyone in between, or something like that, right? You say that to AI. And when you put it into AI, AI will respond. Now, many AIs now have thinking mode, kind of fast, pro, plus, something like that. Which more levels you select, it does more of the thinking analysis and phase. So that's a prompt. And when you have a chat conversation, just like normal human-to-human chats, you have context. And the context is within the same chat session. Usually, it was 10 about roughly. It's limited. It's not forever. So if you have the same chat window that you chatted with ChatGPT for 2 years, and you ask it to summarize the last 2 years of conversation, and ChatGPT says, "Sure, why not? Here's what we talked about for the last 2 years." Okay, that's called AI hallucination. They cannot technically do that because technically for the chat window, they have limited context in tokens. So token in and token out. So 10 rounds of chats before, and then recently the technology now made it to be 100 rounds of chats, roughly. And the context is short-term memory, just like humans when you have a conversation with someone. Okay, when you have a conversation with someone, you may remember it for a certain amount of time, but in order to create long memory, now all the AIs now have long memory, and the interaction with it is a bit different. In Gemini, you can go to the user settings and create instructions for Gemini as long memory. And they also have these settings called personalized, which I feel like maybe turning into advertisement at some point. But it's account setting. That's a long-term memory. So the context is short-term memory in your brain, and then memory is a long-term memory in your brain. And long-term memory is account settings. Like in Doubao, actually you turn it on, but you cannot add to it. You have to specifically mention it in your conversation to say, please remember, always reference me as James before you answer, or please, or always remember to have Chinese and English bilingual responses, because I'm trying to improve both my language skills. So that's long-term memory. So in your brain now, you have the large language model, you have the short-term context, and you have the long-term memory. Now you have your prompt. Then you have your eyes. Why? Because AI can see, visually see. You can upload pictures. And in some of the AI apps on the phone, now AI does not equal to AI. And ChatGPT does not equal to ChatGPT. ChatGPT in your browser is different than the ChatGPT on your phone. Doubao is more interesting. The Doubao version, app version, the Doubao browser version, the Doubao desktop version, and the Doubao API version are very different. But one thing that it technically has a ability to do is able to analyze pictures, right? And what that means is you need to do visual communication. Just like back when I was doing user experience and communicating software requirements, or so-called scope, with my clients back in Microsoft, not everything can be described using words. In Chinese sayings, there's one picture can worth 1,000 words. Well, actually, that's not a Chinese saying. That's that's an English saying that a picture can worth 1,000 words, right? Or more than the words can describe. There are not all the things that can describe using verbal communication. So verbal communication and visual communication need to be combined, just like human-to-human communication, to communicate with AI, to share what you want the AI to see. Now, when AI have eyes, it can analyze, their eyes are more powerful than human eyes. It can see more pixels than humans. So one example is that, and it can analyze and do much faster analysis. One example is I share a photo of Maggie's school picture where it has Maggie's Wesley logo, school logo, and then it has a very tiny words. So on the picture, unless you are from the school, most people cannot read what that logo text is. However, when you give it to the AI, Doubao, it will able to analyze and say, this is a kid from Wellesley School wearing the Wellesley clothes, because it was able to see the pixels in that logo. So AI eyes are much better in terms of seeing things much more in detail and seeing things much faster. There are two kind of trending video examples online that I saw. One is the mother is trying to help with kids doing homework, and yet the mother is building up anxiety or like emotional, right, negativeness. And then she did is put Doubao on video conference on a tripod, and then have Doubao looking at the kid doing homework, and the mother says, "Hey, Doubao, help watch my kid doing homework. If he loses focus, please kindly remind him, and if he has questions, help him to finish his homework." And then the Doubao actually very patiently, very friendly, very emotional value, support to the kid doing homework for 3 hours, just doing the video conference call on the tripod with a kid, and the kid is happy. And I also had that similar interaction with Maggie when I was doing the morning affirmation. When I try to do with myself and Maggie and say in the car, the future school drive videos that I do, driving Maggie to and from school. And the morning affirmation I used to be like, hey, I am loved, I'm smart, I'm independent, I care about others. When I say that, Maggie doesn't follow me more than half the time. She's like, no. But then I made a agent in Doubao, and then have Doubao do the morning affirmation with her, and she follows that. She loves talking to AI more than parent and interact with AI more than the actual human carbon parent, James. So that's the interesting part. Anyways, so verbal communication and visual communication is important. And then the second example is a security guard in China uses the video conference call in Doubao and then watches the screen when car comes in. And he used to be, he part of his work was supposed to stare at the screen all the time. And can you imagine how boring and like anti-human that kind of job task is, right? And what he did is just put on Doubao video conference and have Doubao watches the video on the screen, and then just say, hey, when there's a car, tell me. And the Doubao watches it, and when there's a car, it goes, hey, there's a car. And then security guard comes over, okay, let me go open the gate. And then I draw the eyes, and then I draw the ears. The ears are basically, when you have the video conference, the AI can hear, and the AI can hear things more than humans. For example, in the video of FSD Tesla, there's a video where the car just suddenly pulled on the side of the road, and then the driver was like, "What the hell happened? Is FSD gone mad?" But it was actually the FSD, the AI, was able to hear the sirens of the ambulance in the back, and humans were not able to hear it yet, and they pulled over. So that's the superpower of AI's eyes and ears. AI does not have nose yet, although there are startups I think are doing kind of scent through digital means, which is kind of crazy. So that's a brain, that's a head, that's the AI, right? And then you come down and I draw the stick, hands and feet, and I put on the hand, that's a claw, that's an open claw. It gave AI hands. And when you have hands, it can control computer. And what's in the computer? There are files, there are apps, software that you have, and there are other AIs. So now you have AI controlling computer, and pretty much when you have claw, technically means that with the brain, you are able to only chat with AI. And nobody chat with computers. We want to use computers to finish tasks. So when with claw, we are moving from the conversational interaction to do interaction, done, getting things done interaction. So that's where the hands are with a claw. And then I have this tool belt, which is inspired by Gemini. They call them tools. And that's where you have the thinking mode, the fast, thinking and pro, and then you have generation of pictures, videos, PowerPoint, deep research, etc. Those are the tools. And I mean, I kind of put it in a simple form, but I think it's a lot more complicated. But during my workshop, I just say that these are tools around and wrapped around the brain, wrap around the head, wrap around the body. So these are the tools. And then on the feet and the hands, I say current, and very soon in the future, there will be AI with feet. More than the claw hands are robots. And the robots can also have other hands too. So that's my AI Stickman. And I put a circle, a box around this and say, this is a general use of AI. What general use of AI means is that anybody who download an AI app can use it in this way. We just need to communicate in the same vocabulary. AI is kind of like an alien language. We are using human language trying to invent AI while inventing the same inventing the AI language to communicate by referencing human things. So prompt. Okay, so let's start with the vocabulary. Large language model, LLM, that has computational power, they have big data, they have algorithm, and then it has prompt, which is a visual and verbal and visual communication you send to AI, the things that you communicate with. And then in your conversation, there are short-term context memory, short-term memory context, and then there are long-term memory of actually memory that you can create for your account. And then there are claws, who are hands that uses the head to control computers, and anything in the computer they can use. And then there are tools that can do various things with models, pictures, videos, PowerPoint, deep research, Canvas, etc., etc. Podcasts, And that's general use of AI. Now, in the sense of Zenness, this is see AI is AI. So you see AI is AI through this AI Stickman. Now you know the vocabulary, you know the jargons, you know the concepts of AI. See AI as AI. So see AI is AI. Now, moving forward, when you have enough prompts that you tried every day and it's giving you good results that you use, now you have prompt library. Basically, you are sharing prompts with your colleagues, your friends, your family to say, hey, try this prompt. And it's generating things that more consistently of the results and success that you have validated its value. You can now group your prompt library into agent. And that's where you see AI no longer just AI. So AI is the first level of AI Zen. AI is not AI is the second level of AI Zen. And a box with a stickman inside, when you customize it, personalize it, it can become anyone in the world, or it can become a group of people in the world. So when you create agents, say for financial, you should put Warren Buffett, you should put Elon Musk, I don't know, is he the good investment person? Put Charles Mangos, right? Sorry, I'm not very familiar in the financial world. But if I'm building technology, so something called a meta agent. So when I build my agent to help me come up with the content for AI Stickman AI workshop, I first ask AI to say that, give me the top 10 AI experts in the world. And it lists out, Kapasi and Sam Altman and Elon Musk and Jensen and stuff like that. And then I say, I want to create a group of people, including these 10, with different perspectives. This is the trick from capacity, actually. And to have different perspective means that they will debate and, in their analysis will look at each other and debate with each other. 强推理 in English, AI.
强推理 strong reasoning.
Strong reasoning. So when it comes to strong reasoning, they will debate with each other. So you create that agent that's a group of the world's top people because they have public human knowledge, right? There's enough data about it. Put Elon Musk in all my agents. This is how I do it. I love his first principles. So in my agents, it will always have a strong reasoning step that says, okay, now I'm using Elon Musk's first principle to look at this response. And so that's the agent. You can call it agent X, and it has system prompt and knowledge base files, and just like in Gemini Jam. And essentially, you create this, and then you can create agent X, agent Y, Z, and A, and you are personalizing and customizing your agents or your AI now to do specifically things that you were doing with your generalized AI. And the prompt that you repeatedly use, the files that you repeatedly use in your daily use of generalized AI, now you can package them. Similar to when we were programming, it's like creating common libraries or common code files that you can reuse. That's the concept. You can package your prompt and package the files that you use along with your prompt to be agents. And that's where you realize AI is not AI. AI can be anyone in the world. AI immortality can come out. AI clone come out. That's where things are like, oh wow, okay, that's interesting, right? However, when you have your army or your group or your team of AI or your AI employee, AI team, AI staff, AI whatever clone, now you can put them in 24/7 tasks. And that's the third level of AI Zen. AI is still AI. Why? Because if you go from the generalized AI to customized AI, you realize that it's just prompts plus files. Prompts plus files. And that's where, such as like when you really differentiate from people, between people and people using AI with the same tool is now in the system prompt. How can you create more and more sophisticated and complex? How do you build system prompt? How do you build system prompt which equal to how do you define your agents or slash skills? Skills are the similar concept. It's just prompts plus files, but in markdown format. So how do you create your prompts that defines a certain repeated thing with workflows and things? And then how do you build very high quality knowledge base files? Now, the technical limitation right now is that the knowledge base files, when it grows, it will hit a limit where the compression and loss of focus comes in. And that's where currently the best practice I understand is Capacity's LLM Wiki, where it uses large language model to analyze your raw knowledge base files and then putting that into a compound wiki summary. And then you feed your compound wiki summary to any AI product and personalize it for your own use. So right now what I do is I create folders on my desktop that has my system prompts and have my knowledge base files, or you can call them my agent skill files. And then I keep it in my own folder because now the horse race or gladiator fight for the AI across China and US, not yet, right? It's all there, it's still fighting. Gemini has been dominating now. ChatGPT is dominating on the top of the rank, including DeepSeek is up there. How do you turn any general AI into your personalized, customized AI? is to build your own knowledge base files and build your own system prompts for your agent/skills. And then you can put it into any of these AIs to have it be personalized and customized for you. So that's basically now see AI is still AI, because AI are just still a bunch of files plus prompts. Prompts plus files. And this is your army of your group of agents that you will run. And this is where the OPC one-person company or no-person company could evolve into. And you use Claw or maybe Claw equivalent agent to run and use the other agents in the cost-effective way, or using other skills in the cost-effective way. And finally, the last stage of AI Zen is AI is still just AI, just like smartphones that we have. It's very advanced technology, it is, but you don't see people waking up like amazed at smartphone every day now. And there's so many apps in it, and you don't see people obsessed with just learning about different apps and smartphone how to use, because it's very intuitive. So AI is still AI will become, I think, what this kind of token throughput idea is. You will be giving you will purchase or you will be giving certain amount of token computational power. You have your army of agents, AI that runs 24/7 for you, doing things that you do with computers. And how do you make your computation, maximize the value or productivity of your agents through the tokens that you have? Token throughput is what the concept in the end is. So essentially what that means is in the morning you wake up, look at your phone, check for messages. Instead, you will say, look at your phone and be like, oh, how my tasks are running. You have an endless to-do list for your AI, and you will have different models with different token, because not all AI is equal to AI, not all models are equal to each other, right? So some tasks are using some type of models that are not so sophisticated, and some models and which with cheaper token, and then some tasks require much more difficult and much more cost tokens like cloud or things like that. And currently, who knows, in a few weeks things might change. And that's what AI China's export of electricity is, because China has the cheapest electricity currently in the world, and therefore it has the cheapest tokens in the world that people are using. So that's interesting. So yeah, that's a quick summary. Actually, it's not so quick, but I get really excited, as you can see, my eyes light up when I talk about this AI concept, because I want to share this with more folks who have not yet understand perhaps how to use AI effectively. The tools are already out there. The technology is already out there, and it is democratized for everyone to use. Knowledge is democratized for everyone to use. And I think it will benefit and bring equality to the world. Effective altruism. Yeah, so I put out this AI contents in my, I call the AI channel the James LLM log. 料小语言模型, my little language model. These are things I generated with my brain and with help with different other large language models. This is the diary for today. Next time, perhaps, if folks are interested in this, I can go deeper into some of the conversations there. Thanks.